hello, and welcome. August is National Black Business Month, and there is no better time to celebrate the power of sisterhood in our community. So, welcome to my LinkedIn family, welcome to my Facebook family, and my YouTube family. Welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Twanna Carter, and I'm a career coach who is dedicated to helping professional Black women find balance, confidence, and fulfillment in their careers. So, again, welcome to this live, the Sisterhood Strategy, a secret weapon for Black women's success. So, today we're really exploring the power of sisterhood and driving Black women's success. And I'm so thrilled because I have a guest today. So, let me maneuver some things around here. And so I can actually introduce you all. And let's see. I want to do trying to take some things off here. There we go. That one and that one. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm so thrilled to introduce you to Nadia Stone. She is a dynamic social media manager who has been an integral part of my team for the past year and some, but we'll get to that, what I mean by that and some. Okay. So, Nadia's journey from early childhood educator to thriving entrepreneur in the digital space is nothing short of inspiring. So, join us as we explore her path, the challenges that she's overcome, and the valuable insights that she brings to supporting small businesses and Black women, all while we'll be highlighting the power that sisterhood has been such a driving force in her journey and in the success of the Black women that she supports, right? And also, in this competitive landscape, we need that sisterhood. We really do need that sisterhood because there's so much that can line up against us, right? And so, thank you so much, Nadia, for agreeing to be here today. I am so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Twanna. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Great, great. So I'm gonna change some things out here. There we go. Be sure I got things here. I'm gonna pop over to my comments stream, okay?
Okay.
Because we've got a lot to cover. So we're just gonna jump right in. But before we do, I do want you to feel free to drop your questions or just share any comments you may have below. All right. And I'll announce those and look at those and show some of those on screen as we start. Okay. So starting out, Nadia, it has been such a pleasure working with you over the past year and even before that as my apprentice. So that's right. Nadia actually started off as my apprentice through Acadium, apprenticeships for business.
Mhm.
So, can you share with us, Nadia, how you first got started in the world of social media management?
Okay, so first of all, Tawana, I just want to um, truly state that how much of an honor and pleasure it's been to work with you, both as your apprentice and now as your social media manager. So the mentorship and guidance you provided has been invaluable, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to continue to learn from you and grow. So before I found my footing in the digital space, I actually spent a significant time in customer service roles, and I also worked as an early childhood educator for 12 years. So while I enjoyed those roles, I always knew there was more that I could do and contribute. So I kept pushing myself to learn and grow, and I took various courses and eventually completed my Bachelor's of Arts in Educational Studies in Digital Technology. And doing this degree, and to mention, I think I did it at the most perfect time because I did it in 2019, where it led up to 2020 with all the remote work and COVID and everybody working from home and trying to actually get into the digital space. So I think that it was destined that I did it at that time. So we're in 2019, and at
Mhm.
that time, I had hoped that this degree would, open doors for me in more senior roles of education. But despite my qualifications, I found myself being overlooked, and it felt as though
Mhm.
I was stuck in positions that mainly benefited my employer. So I knew I wanted more for myself, so I kept on striving and
Yeah, so
trying
I
to
just
seek
want to
out
pop
ways.
in there
Mhm.
and pause for a moment because sometimes we get in these spaces where we feel like we're the only one. No one else goes through this but me. But you heard, Nadia say that, she felt overlooked, right? And that she just felt like there was more she could be doing, right? And, that she didn't quite belong where she was. So, you know, if you think you can be doing more, you're right. If you think you're the only one feeling like that, you're not right about that because a lot of us go through that when we're at W 2 employments, right? And
Right.
so, oftentimes, again, this is where my clients get stuck. They get stuck because they reevaluate their priorities, which you're entitled to do, but they feel unsure about how to move forward and whether or not I should do that. What if it doesn't go right? What if it doesn't do this? But my thing is what if it goes right?
Exactly.
Instead of worried about what
Exactly.
if it goes wrong,
Right.
what if it goes
What if it
right?
goes
And
right?
Nadia is proof. She is exact proof of it going right. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us what happened around the time that you graduated.
So around the time I graduated, I was also pregnant with my second daughter, which made me reevaluate my priorities. So I wanted to be present for both my girls, and I needed that flexibility, especially being a single mother. So that's when I went back to the drawing board and I reflected on what truly made me happy, and I realized how much I enjoyed the creative aspect of my program, particularly the graphic design course that I took. And I remembered how often family and friends would turn to me when it came to anything administrative related or design related. So in 2022, I discovered the digital marketing apprenticeship program with Acadium. And that seemed to be the perfect fit. So it combined my love for creativity with the strategic thinking I had developed over the years, and I started working with clients, including you, Twanna. And it quickly became clear that this was my path and that I was meant to take. So, digital marketing and the social media management, it really allows me to use my creativity. To do something that's fulfilling and impactful, and it offers me that flexibility that I needed in my career as well as my family life. So, looking back, I'm so glad that I trusted my instincts and I made that leap into the field. And it's been an incredible journey. So, I'm excited to see where it leads me.
Absolutely. So let's go back for a moment because she says something like, I have my second daughter. I need to relook because I want to spend time with them. I want to make that time because, they're only babies once. Self awareness is so important when you're talking about your career, be it if you're W 2 employee or if you're a business owner. That self awareness is really important, right? Because, like Nadia, I had people calling me from the East Coast to the West Coast. I was helping people with resumes, coaching them
Mhm.
on interviewing. They were landing jobs, they were getting, promoted, and they were doing all of these things. But at some point, you have to realize that where's my value?
Mhm.
This is my value. This is my feel good space. This is my comfortable space here. And this is what I think I want to do. And some of us feel that way, but we become afraid to pursue it. Go ahead
Right.
and pursue it. It's
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Right? It is. Yeah. And so I think Nadia makes a good point about trusting instincts, right?
Right.
Definitely
Yes,
trusting
yes,
those
yes.
instincts.
Yes, definitely. So you have to basically trust your instincts, and know when it's time to let go and move on. And and where with me, I use my creativity as an opportunity. So I built my own opportunities with what I learned and the creativity that I had. And sometimes that's the best way to go, is just by trusting your instincts and using what your gifts are, and taking advantage of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing. I do want to shift just a little bit. I want to talk about your early challenges because sometimes when you're looking at some folks on social media, they make life's, entrepreneurship look like I get up every day sprouting petals and roses and daisies.
Yes, yes,
It's
yes, for
like every
sure.
morning I just grow roses.
Well, as an entrepreneur, especially if you're by yourself, you are your accountant, you're your manager, you're the creative director. So everything is on you. But what I can speak on is one of the biggest challenges that I faced when I first entered the field was finding clients who truly value the work that I was doing. I remember a particular instance, when I provided a detailed proposal for a client who was struggling with design, and despite the effort that I put into the proposal and the value I aimed to bring this client, the client saw the work as just pasting. Copying and pasting information. So, with that, and also with that, they wanted to always barter the price. So I found clients that wanted to, like, debate your pricing, so that was a challenge as well. So these instances are always tough because it feels like your skills and time aren't being recognized or appreciated. And it was clear what relationships I wanted to pursue, and those kind of clients I didn't want to further pursue those relationships with them. So realizing this type of situation, and unfortunately knowing that this is not uncommon common in this industry, it taught me a valuable lesson in setting boundaries and understanding the worth of my work. And I learned to be more selective in my client engagements, right? And focusing on those who actually recognize the value and the expertise that I bring to the table. And it became clear that partnering with clients who appreciate the strategic and creative aspects of social media management is crucial for a successful and fulfilling working relationship. So by standing firm on my value and seeking out clients who align with my approach, I was able to build stronger, more positive relationships. And this expertise taught me the importance of clear communication and the need to work with clients who share mutual respect for the work that's involved in what I
Mhm,
do. And it's
mhm.
all about finding the right fit and knowing that there are people out there who actually value your skills and are excited to collaborate. And also remembering that, not every client, like, there's going to be clients that come along, but not every client is your client. So you have
Right.
to be accepting of that.
Yeah. So, in the services industries, especially when you're creative, right?
Mhm.
Like in coaching, in social media, and design, and even with hairdressers, beauticians, braiders, right? You do get that often. I'm often hit with people as like, can you yell on my career? And I
Mhm.
want that promotion. I want you to do my resumes. I want you to do my interview coaching, and I want to get all that for free. Right? I
Right.
shouldn't have to pay you for that because this is a sisterhood and we should support one another. But
Mhm.
the sisterhood strategy isn't about not honoring your value. It is not about giving everything away. That's not what when we say sisterhood, that's not what we mean what sisterhood
Exactly.
is. Sisterhood is that mutual respect.
Right.
It is a mutual respect because you have to understand, and we most of us have been there because most of us have been W-2 employees. We've probably been on a job where we've been overlooked for a promotion. We knew we were qualified, someone less qualified got that job.
Right.
We've probably been on jobs where people felt it was okay to yell at us, cuss at us, talk down to us, dismiss us like that was okay. And we
Yep.
should just be okay being spoken to like that. We've
Exactly.
probably been on jobs where we found out that someone else with less education, less experience was making way more money than we were.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where we are when we're W-2 employees, as a sisterhood, why would we treat each other like that as entrepreneurs?
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
when you ask me to give up my intellectual property for free, you're dismissing my value, you're not respecting me. And that's not what sisterhood is about.
Exactly.
Sisterhood is about honoring, respecting. It's about sharing. If you can make a purchase, great. But if you can make a referral, great. If you can roll by an Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or TikTok or YouTube, like a video, make a comment. That's support.
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't cost
supporting your
anything to
sister.
do that.
It
Right.
doesn't cost anything at all to do that. So when we talk about the support, it's not about giving everything away. Because a lot of us, we just like you, we got a mortgage to pay, we got gas, water, light, car, children, private school, all the supplies. If you're in public school, we have all that. Okay.
Right. Right.
It
Exactly.
doesn't go away
Exactly.
because we're business owners.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we do. I want to take time and honor my comments. So we do have a comment from Star Cod. Thank you, Star. And she says, "Looks amazing, Twanna. Look, Nadia is all. This is all Nadia, okay?" And I would just like to say that I would love to be to say that yes, my LinkedIn looks as fabulous as it does because I do it all.
Yeah.
No, my LinkedIn looks as fabulous as it does because Nadia does it for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Which
the
is why I was
opportunity.
able to go to Costa Rica and go to Panama and go to Thailand and go to Korea and all those places because I had this fabulous social media manager named Nadia Stone.
Thank you.
That's how I did that. In the days before I found Nadia, I was pulling my hair out, trying to, what do I do? What gotta
Oh,
be gone? What
no.
do I do? And now I give Nadia the concept and she runs with it. I love it. So
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
completely
Thank
love it.
you.
And I tell Nadia this often. Thank you so much for being on my team. Thank you so much for being on my team.
Oh, I'm so honored and happy to be on your team.
So I want to talk about your apprenticeship now, right?
Hmm.
Because career transition seems so scary to a lot of Black women because they
Hmm.
fear I'm going to start over at the bottom, and what if I can't get a client? What if I lose experience? What if I can't make the money? Or what if I lose time?
Right.
Because it gets scary learning to do something different. So you took a route that I often recommend for people that can do it. You did an apprenticeship. So tell us about, looking back, especially when you were an apprentice with me. Again, Nadia was my apprentice first before I hired her on because she is just that good. What were some of the most valuable lessons or skills that you gained during that time?
Yes, yes. So, looking back to when as an apprentice with you, Tawana, I realized how transformative that experience was for my career and personal growth. So, I can't express how much I admire your organizational skills and your ability to maintain a clear vision while managing multiple projects. So, it's something that I strive to emulate every day. But what truly stands out is how encouraging and supportive you were and still are. And you saw potential in me even when I had some doubts myself. And you were one of the first people to give me a chance and that believed in my abilities. And this gave me the confidence to pursue the path that I'm on today. So I could say that the apprenticeship with you, it was It was nothing short of insightful. So every week on our weekly meetings, I was always filled with invaluable insights and practical advice, and I had my pen and paper ready literally every week. I was like, what am I going to learn today? But it wasn't just about learning the technical aspects of social media management, but it was also about understanding the bigger picture, the strategy behind every post, and the importance of genuine engagement with an audience. And you didn't just teach me how to do the work, you taught me how to basically think about the work in a way that resonates with people. And what I appreciate most is also how you uplift and promote those around you. And so you create an environment where growth and learning are not only encouraged, but it's also expected. And and uh, and that nurturing atmosphere that you created has had a profound impact on me, and it's something that I carry with me every aspect of my work, and I owe so much of my current success to the lessons I learned during the time, and I'm endlessly grateful that I've had a mentor like you. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. So Nadia is being let me tell y'all something here. Nadia had been working for me maybe a month and a half, and we were doing one of our weekly mentoring sessions. And I told her, I said, I'd hire you today. I said, I just want you to know the level at which you produce and what you do and how you interpret. That's your specialism. I'd hire you today, right? Because Nadia's specialism is you can tell her what you want,
Mhm.
right? And some, Nadia's worked with me now for over a year. Some days, I mean, well, a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't really know. I just kind of whatever. But I can give her a concept and she'll listen to you. She will do the research. And I was like, how did you get into my head? Because it is exactly what was in my head and what I wanted. She can pick that up. It's like she intuits it. And that's why I loved her. Now, she doesn't know this, but when she finished the internship, I was kind of calculate. Well, I'm sorry, the apprenticeship with me. I was trying to calculate how many other ones she did before she finished. So I was stalking her. I was low key stalking her. Oh, go out in pink, like, oh, I don't see a website yet. She not done. Well, is she? And I was low key stalking her because I love the fact that she can read. You can give her something and she can interpret it. And I often brag to folks, you can't tell the stuff that I created from the stuff Nadia created. She just, if it's better, it's Nadia stuff. Just now, I can't say that everyone else does this with their apprentices, but I gave my apprentices access to the exercises and materials for my Courage to Launch Your Business coaching program. So, yeah, my apprentices see the same training that I gave to my coaching clients because I just believe with all of my heart as a leader, one of your most important roles is to train the next generation of leaders. None of this, oh, I don't want to share that because I don't want her to be better than me. I
Right.
don't want her to make more money than me. Because I had enough of that on jobs. I got so sick and tired of often Black women withholding stuff because I don't
The
want you to get ahead of me. I
gatekeeping.
don't want you to do this. So that's not my journey. My journey is to share it because, I didn't get that sharing from most of my leaders and my managers. They withheld information to try to put a stop to me getting promotions and moving ahead. For me, it's all about preparing my apprentices just like I prepare my paying clients to stand on their own 2 feet and be successful. That's what sisterhood is. If you want
Right.
to talk about that secret, that's what it is. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've helped people get jobs making way more money than I have as a career coach. So what? That's what I was paid to do.
Right.
There's no, oh, I'm going to hold back for them. They might make more money than I do. Absolutely not. True sisterhood looks beyond who's making the most money. I just want you to be successful. Because when
Yes.
we do that for each other, that second order, that third order, even the fourth order of effects can explode and become exponential, right? Because I'll talk about it. Well, I can talk about it now. Um, I refer Donnie to so many people. I do. I refer people all the time. I was working with one of my affiliate coaches, and she was like, "I need someone to do my Instagram for me. I have someone to do my posts, but I need someone to set it up, make it look like it's supposed to, who understands Instagrams, who can do that, who can do that." I was like, "Hey, I know a person. I know someone, and she does it well, right?" So for me, that's sisterhood. It's when
Right.
someone has a need, not going, "I'm not going to do that because she might need more money than I do." No, that's not true sisterhood. Sisterhood is being
Exactly.
selfless in helping people, not giving away all your value for free. That's not sisterhood. I'm not saying that, but we do promote each other and we share. And I don't mind sharing with people. It's like, "Hey, I have a person. You can tell her I sent you, or you don't have to tell her at all. But I know someone who is really good." And I love doing that because to me, that's what sisterhood is about, right?
Right.
Because I got out of the military, I they started asking for reference. I didn't have anybody. And for a minute I started to panic because a lot of us when we get out of the military, we're dealing with guilt that I didn't finish my mission, guilt that I left my soldiers behind, guilt that I left my unit behind. So I was ashamed to call back and ask people for references because I was dealing with so much guilt. And there's nothing like being in the in the market for a job and they said, "Oh, I need 5 references or I need 3 references," and you know nobody. And when I hear clients come on board, it hurts me to my soul to hear a black woman say, "I don't have anybody. I can't call anybody. I have nobody." I know what that feels like because I did that. I have been through that. So as someone who is an introvert and someone who has social anxiety, I did not do networking well. That's why I didn't have references when I left the army, right? Because I just didn't do networking well. I finally figured it out. So now I love networking. I love putting people in touch with people and spreading it. If Nadia makes $300,000 this year, I'm like, yes, because
Yes.
I'm going to be referring her. She's like, "Oh yeah,
I hope so.
right there, claim that." That's true sisterhood because when you have that energy, that's the energy that you give off, and guess what? That's the energy you get back,
Right. Yes, for
right?
sure. For sure.
Right. So I like to talk now, Nadia, about your business journey. Okay.
Okay.
So tell us about your journey to BTS, how you got there.
Okay, so my journey from being an apprentice to now actually doing my own business, the BTS with Nadia, has been both challenging and rewarding. So when I first started working under you, I was eager to learn and absorb everything about social media and social media management and digital strategy. And the foundation you provided gave me a strong start, but it was also your mentorship that inspired me to think bigger and to see how my skills could make a difference for others. So as I gained experience and confidence, I began to see opportunities to support small businesses, particularly those that might not be technically savvy or have the resources to invest in high level social media marketing strategies, or there's just businesses that simply just don't know what is out there. So I realized that these businesses often had incredible stories to tell, but lacked the experiences to effectively share them. And knowing this, I decided to finish what I started with BTS with Nadia and be of service to those who wanted to utilize a digital space for their business. And my goal was to use the skills I honed during my time with under your apprenticeship to help these businesses grow and thrive online. So BTS with Nadia is all about going beyond the surface, getting to the heart of what makes each business unique, and creating tailored strategies that resonates with the business target audience. And so your guidance was very pivotal, sorry, in shaping my approach to business. And I'm grateful every day for that that I had with you. And it's been an incredible journey from apprenticeship to entrepreneurship. So I'm so excited about being that help for these businesses, and where this will continue to lead me.
Yes, yes. So, I always felt like I said, Nadi gets these random text messages from me. Thank you for being on my
Yes.
team. So let's go ahead and dig into the how, right? Because
Okay.
you said you support small businesses, and
Hmm.
again, here in America, and by the way, Naughty is in Canada, but hey,
Yes.
we support black women, support black women across borders and everything, right?
Exactly. It can happen.
So exactly, exactly. So tell us how you go about doing what you do. Like, I understand that supporting small businesses is a very passionate for you, very passionate about it. So how do
Right.
you approach these businesses? How do you help them grow and thrive in today's digital landscape?
Okay, so yeah, so supporting small businesses is truly a passion of mine, and I approach it with a deep sense of responsibility and commitment. And I'm aware that in the digital space, competition is very fierce, and trends are constantly changing. And evolving, and it's crucial for small businesses to have a strong, authentic online presence. So, my approach is rooted in understanding the unique story and values of each business that I work with. So, the first step is always about listening, getting to know the business owners, their goals, their challenges, and their vision for the future. And I believe that every business has a story worth telling, and my job is basically to help them share that story in a way that connects with their audience. And this involves basically crafting digital strategies that aligns with their brand identity, um, whether it's through social media campaigns, content creation, or community engagement. And I also focus on education and empowerment as well. So I don't want to just execute strategies and then leave business owners hanging. I also want to equip business owners with the knowledge and tools, and they need to sustain growth even after our initial collaboration. So I don't want to be the person that gatekeeps and is like, okay, you gave me this opportunity, let me keep it going and keep that away from you. I'm somebody who, as well, if I know that there's something that will benefit a business, I'm gonna let them know that. I'm gonna share the information, so that even if they're not working with me, they will know what to do on their own. It's all about education as well. Um, hmm, yeah. So um, also, along with sharing information, I also like to stay on top of the latest trends and understand algorithms that drive visibility, and continuously refine strategies to ensure that a business remains effective in the digital environment. But most importantly, I approach my work with empathy and a genuine desire to see businesses succeed. So I understand the challenges small business face, especially when resources are limited, and I'm committed to helping them not just survive but also thrive in the digital space. And it's incredibly rewarding to see a business grow and know that I played a part in that journey. So my approach is about creating a lasting impact. One small business at a time.
Yeah, and that's it for me. Seeing someone make that leap and become successful, again, standing on their own 2 feet. It's just,
Mhm.
I don't know. I like having to be able to say that my little bitty piece in whatever their huge puzzle is, it was a
Right.
piece of that puzzle that helped them, right? And
Yes.
when we talk about sister, because your work is good. Again, you heard me say that I refer you out to people. When people ask me, I was like, oh yes, I do, right? And so, my folks, I do a couple times a year. I open up my Courage to Launch Your Business group coaching for my folks who want to transition into entrepreneurship. But I also have to remind people that social media isn't just for businesses to get clients, right?
Mhm.
Social media is also about networking so that you can get another job or get another promotion, right? And
Right.
so, as my clients will tell you, I'm all about the networking. But sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like to network. Or how do I do that?
Right.
Especially when I have folks who are wanting to shift like an entire industry, but they got to be careful not to let that current employer know what they're doing, but they
Right.
need to build this new brand, right? It's like, how do I do that? And a lot of people don't know that you can build that brand on social media. You
Right.
can do it through Instagram or Facebook if that's your chosen platform, or TikTok. You could actually set up your own website.
Right.
So yes,
Exactly.
businesses use all of these things, and that's what Nadia does. She does it for businesses, but guess what? She also does this for women. If
Mhm.
you're trying to, do your branding, you're like, I need to set up this website because I know at some point I'm shifting over here to this industry and I need to showcase my knowledge. I need to build my authority with people. Nadia actually helps you do that. Social media managers are not just for businesses, right? Nadia and I kind of talked about this before, but you can use a social media manager as the executive of a company, as a manager of a company, as a C suite, as an upcoming, a mid level manager, you can use a social media manager to help craft your brand so that when people start pulling you up on the internet, they see you come up and your brand is attached to that. So, it doesn't matter which platform you use. Nadia is really good. I'm sure she pulls her hair out about me posting on my Instagram account. But so don't look at my Instagram, but look at my LinkedIn because it's good. Nadia does that.
Yes, to add, it's your website and your image, that's your digital storefront. So that's like your billboard. So you always want to make sure that you're giving a good first impression because the first thing
Exactly.
people do is Google your name.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I tell folks, I have a Facebook account because people will often Google me. Oh, she's on Facebook. She's legit. And sometimes they stop there because I investigate everybody. I'm sorry, I do the research. I go way deep down. And I'm surprised at people who would say, no, you have a Facebook account or you have an Instagram account, and they stop searching. I'm a
Mhm.
little different. I'm a search and keep pulling up stuff, but but when you get to that account, when people get to that account or an employer arrives at your social media, you want to control the narrative about what they see, about what is said about you. That's
Exactly.
something that a social media manager can help you do, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's talk about perspective here because you have
Okay.
a different perspective. So let's talk about your unique perspective. Because as a black woman in the social media industry, how has your unique perspective influenced how you approach social media strategy and management?
Okay. So my identity as a Black woman has significantly shaped how I approach social media strategy and management. So in an industry where representation and authenticity are increasingly important, my perspective allows me to bring a nuanced understanding of diverse audiences and the need for inclusive content. So one of the key ways this influences my work is my emphasis on storytelling and using my client's brand voice. Like, for example, with your content, Twanna, I know your platform focuses on Black women navigating the corporate landscape. So when I create content for you, I want to ensure that I'm speaking to your ideal client and I recognize the power of social media to elevate voices that are often underrepresented, and I strive to create content that basically resonates with a wide range of people. So this means being intentional about every post that I do. So that includes the imagery, language, and narratives that I'm using to ensure that they reflect the diversity of our audiences and and the world at large. So my background also gives me a deep sense of empathy and awareness of the challenges that marginalized community space, both online and offline. So I'm particularly mindful of the importance of creating safe, positive spaces on social media where people feel seen, heard, and respected. Um, so this involves not only crafting messages that are inclusive, but also being proactive and addressing negative behavior as well with the brands that I manage. So, and also additionally, my experience has taught me the value of resilience and adaptability, and navigating the social media industry as a Black woman has required me to be innovative and resourceful, especially when faced with obstacles. And these qualities are now central to how I develop and execute strategies, and always looking for creative solutions and staying flexible in the face of change.
Yeah, yeah. And I have to say this, representation matters. It does. I've had apprentices and I've had professional VAs with years of experience work for me. And I had to sit down because and I give instructions and tell people what I want, and I have all my stuff lined out. I give them all the stuff to read, right? And there is that moment when I had to come in and just have that conversation. Like, I'm
Mhm.
black, right? You, I'm black, right? They're like, well, yeah. I said, and my ideal client is a black woman, right? They look at me like, yeah, but all of the images you just created are of white people 18 to 24. So it's my copy. The copy speaks to my ideal client, but the images do not. I'm black,
Right.
they're black. And I've been amazed at professionals that go, oh, I never actually paid attention to that. Representation matters. And
It
that's
does.
why I, low key stalk Nadia because she understood. She really did understood. And I've worked with some great people. Let me say that from the apprenticeship program, Winter Blessing, I measured everybody by her until I ran into Nadia. And then I was like, okay, everybody has to measure up to Winter Blessing and Nadia because they were really good at interpreting and understanding the brand voice. If it's black women, you gotta have the images that appeal to black women, right? And I
Right.
will say that I've also worked with the Rij in Egypt and a couple other folks from Nigeria, and they get it, but not everybody does. And I'll say it again, representation matters. Okay?
Hmm.
It really does matter.
It does. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about some success stories. Could you share a success story from one of the businesses that you work with, and how did your strategies make a difference for them?
Okay, so one of the success stories that stands out to me is a solopreneur I recently worked with who specializes in home organization. So, despite her incredible skills, I don't think she's seen the potential that she had or that her business could have. And she was very passionate about helping others and creating organized spaces, and she didn't have an online presence. So when we first connected, she didn't have an online presence. So she was feeling very overwhelmed by the idea of marketing herself, and wasn't sure where to start or if she should even start. With the marketing. So I began by sitting down with her to understand her goals, her brand, and her target audience. And from there, I created a comprehensive strategy that included setting up her social media profiles, creating a visually appealing website, and developing content that showcased her expertise. So we focused on creating posts that highlighted her work, shared her organization tips, and featured client testimonials to build trust with her audience. And this from doing that, the transformation was incredible. So almost immediately she began receiving inquiries from potential clients who had discovered her online, and The content we created not only highlighted her skills, but also positioned her as somebody that people go to and are saving posts. And she felt a huge sense of relief knowing that her business was finally being seen and appreciated by a broader audience. Yeah, so this was a very pivotal change that she had, and she was able to this was and doing this this was very rewarding for me, seeing her confidence grow. So she went from not wanting to really put herself out there to her confidence growing, and her online presence started to really bloom, and she went from feeling invisible to being sought after, and her business has since taken off. And it's a perfect example of how the right digital strategy can make a significant difference for a small business, especially for those who might not have the chance to fully showcase their talents. And usually it's because they don't know the possibilities that the online world can offer them. And helping her reach this point where she's now getting inquiries, and it's very fulfilling for me, and it's a reminder of why I'm passionate about what I do.
Absolutely. So that kind of dovetails into my next question. Very good there.
Thank you.
It's balancing creativity and strategies, right? So let's get a little bit into that. So social
Okay.
media management is a mix of creativity strategy because you
Mhm.
guys got to do both. But how do you find the balance, especially when you're working with clients who have different needs and goals?
Exactly, exactly. So, balancing creativity and strategy is definitely at the heart of effective social media management, and it's something I approach with a lot of intention. So you have to be very intentional about what you do, especially since every client has unique needs and goals. So for me, the key is understanding that creativity and strategy are not opposing forces, but rather complementary elements that, when
Mhm.
aligned, can produce powerful results. So I basically start by getting a deep understanding of the client's brand, the audience, and objectives. And this strategic foundation allows me to tailor my creative efforts to meet specific goals that the client may have, whether it's increasing brand awareness or driving engagement or generating leads. So, with this clarity, I can ensure that every creative idea is purpose driven and aligned with the client's overall strategy. So, when it comes to creativity, I like to push boundaries and think outside the box, but also within the context of the brand's identity and audience preference. And this might mean experimenting with different content formats like videos or infographics, or finding unique ways to tell the client story in ways that basically stand out in the crowded space. However, I always circle back to the strategy to ensure that these creative efforts are not just attention grabbing, but also effective in achieving desired outcomes. So, working with diverse clients, I've learned the importance of flexibility and adaptability. And some clients might lean more towards a creative approach, and which they want bold, eye-catching content, while others might prioritize the data, where they focus on measurable results. So my role is to just find, I guess, the sweet spot where creativity meets strategy, and ensuring that we're not just creating beautiful content, but we're also driving meaningful impact. And ultimately, it's about creating a balance where creativity fuels innovation and strategy ensures that innovation translates into success. So by keeping both elements in sync, I can deliver social media campaigns that are not only visually compelling, but also strategically sound and effective in helping clients achieve their goals.
Right, so I'm the person that likes both because every month I was like, Nadia, where's my report?
Yes.
So Nadia actually gives you a report at the end of the month to tell you the data, because I want to dig into the data. I want to know, what worked well, what didn't work well, what do I need to do more of, what I need to do less of. And if we try something different, and we'll do it. And Nadia knows I'm open to trying things. And it's great because if you're on the creative side, she does hit the, how beautiful it looks. But if you like the data too, she actually gives you both, right? Because even in, whether you're a business owner or not, you still need to know your analytics. You need to
Right.
know what it is. What are you making? What, you're planning on getting this type of education or that certification. How is that going to bring you more money? And so, whether
Right.
you're a business owner or whether you're a W-2 employee, that creativity and that strategy still goes hand in hand, right? And so
Right.
let's talk next, Nadia, about future goals, right? And so,
Mhm.
looking ahead, what are your goals for the future? What are the goals for the future of your career in the work that you do with, and or the work you do with small businesses?
Okay. So looking ahead, I'm excited about my future direction and where I want to take my career, especially in the work that I do with small businesses. So one of my primary primary goals is to dive deeper into design, which is something that I'm really passionate about. I've always been passionate about design and being creative. So I've always loved the creative process, and I'm eager to expand my skills, and I feel like I would want to expand my skills when it comes to website design and video editing. And I see a huge opportunity to offer, with doing this, excelling my skills in this. I see a huge opportunity to offer more comprehensive services to small businesses, by helping them not only with social media management, but also with creating visually stunning and functional websites. Because, as I mentioned earlier, your website is basically your digital storefront. So, um, having a strong online presence, it does start with a great website. And I want to be able to provide that for my clients. Also, in addition to website design, I'm also focusing on enhancing my video editing skills, because I know that video content is becoming increasingly important in digital marketing. And I believe that offering high quality, engaging video content can really set my clients apart from their competitors. And whether it's creating promotional videos, tutorials, or social media snippets, I want to help businesses tell their stories in a way that's dynamic and visually compelling. And so ultimately, my goal is to continue to evolve and grow as a professional, and always staying ahead of the curve. And I want to build a reputation for delivering top-notch creative solutions that drive real results for the businesses that I work with. Um, and by expanding these new areas, I'm really confident that I can provide even more value to my clients and help them thrive in today's digital space.
Well, I know I'm loving you. Thank you again for being on my team.
Thank you for having me.
I promise y'all, if you see her phone, you'll see these little random, like, thank you so much. And so, Dottie, I do about 75% of the women that come to me coaching end up standing up their own business, right? And some of them do
Okay.
it like I did. I did full-time employment and I did my business as part-time. And many of
Hmm.
them do that. And some of them say, this is working for me. Let me just go ahead and go full-time, just full-time
Right.
entrepreneurship. I'm taking that leap. I would love for you to really share some advice for aspiring professionals, right? You know, just what advice would you give someone who's just starting out in, in social media management or just in any type of business, especially for those who may want to actually make an impact on small businesses, just like you do.
Okay. So, my biggest piece of advice for anyone starting out in social media management or digital marketing, especially if you're passionate about making an impact on small businesses, um, is to embrace the mindset of continuous learning and being adaptable. So the digital space is constantly evolving, and staying curious and open to new trends and tools and strategies will definitely set you apart. And also focus on understanding the unique needs and challenges of small businesses. They often operate um, with limited, resources. So it's crucial to be strategic, thoughtful, and being resourceful in your approach. So take the time to really listen to their stories and their goals, and then craft strategies that align with their brand and audience. So it's not just about creating content; it's also about creating content that actually resonates and drives meaningful engagement. Um, Also, um, building strong relationships is another key aspect, because small business owners, they value trust and reliability. So being consistent and communicative shows them that you're really invested in their success, and they'll be more likely to trust you with their brand when you build those strong relationships. Also, don't be afraid to get creative and experiment with different content formats and platforms. So, social media is a space where innovation basically thrives. So, sometimes the most unexpected ideas can lead to the biggest breakthroughs. So, whether it's trying out new video formats or finding unique ways to tell a brand story, creativity can be a game changer. And also, finally, be patient, but also persistent. So, success in social media management doesn't happen overnight. So, and you'll likely face challenges along the way. But if you stay committed to learning, growing, and delivering value for your clients, then you'll build a strong foundation for a rewarding career. And remember, the impact that you make on small businesses can be profound. So keep pushing forward, and don't doubt yourself, and don't underestimate the power that your work is truly bringing and the impact that you bring to each client.
Absolutely. Building relationships, just another term for networking. You
Hmm.
have to learn it, and it doesn't have to be hard. If I promise you, if I can do it, someone with social anxiety and who is an introvert, and I'm telling you, there are days I'm happy being in my house all by myself for weeks on time and never have to see another soul. If that were possible, I would be happy. But I had to learn how to network, and it's so important. That's what the sisterhood is for. You know, we're living in an extrovert world, right? But don't make the mistake of thinking that if you're not an extrovert, that you can't network. You just network different. I network
Right.
differently on a good day from someone who is an extrovert. I'm an introvert, so it looks different. But you start with that one person, right? When I got out of the army, I realized I was stuck because I didn't have anybody. And, no one told me about get a mentor network. No one told me any of that coming out of college. So just fortunately, I knew my professor of military science extremely well, Colonel Bill Ware. And I remember because there was no internet when I got out of the military, right? There was none of that. And so I remember looking through the phone books and, finding his number in the phone book and calling him up and saying, "Sir, I need a reference." And when I tell you that man wrote with me, he talked with me, he wrote probably 10 or 15 reference letters. And mind you, no internet. So he was writing that out by hand and
Wow.
signing it and mailing them to me. Right. And I was so appreciative that I decided I was going to become that person for someone else who didn't have the networking, who didn't have a sisterhood, who didn't have a relationship, all these relationships already built. So at the end of the day, Whether you are an entrepreneur or you are a W-2 employee, you need the relationships. And that's, this thing that Nadia and I are talking about today. It's now a 2-year relationship. In a couple of months, it's rolling over into a 3-year relationship, right? It doesn't have to be hard. It really doesn't, but you just want to start somewhere, right? So if you're here listening to this going like, okay, I hear you, especially my introverts out there. I have a lot of love for my introverts. I get it. I do invite you to, I do encourage you to join my VIP collaborative network for Black women on LinkedIn. I popped the link out there. You can click that. Let's see if I can get it to go. There you go. You can come there and join. That's the start. I started this about a month ago because I told you it hurts my soul when I hear a Black woman say, I don't have anybody. When you move up into the C-suite, you have to have a network. It's rare for people to make it to the C-suite and you don't have a network of folks. But if you're middle management, you're headed in that direction, you can start with this VIP collaborative network for Black women. Start there, because that's part of the whole point, is to have a place where you no longer feel you got to be alone. So whether you want to do entrepreneurship, welcome. If you want to go to the C-suite, welcome. If you're in the nonprofit space, welcome. You are more than welcome to join the group, right? And so, together we can create these opportunities to elevate each other's careers, build our businesses, build networks that thrive on mutual success. That's where the secret is for sisterhood, right? So we can make this journey one of collaboration, celebration, and sisterhood. So if you are looking for a social media manager, I have got all of Nadia's details. Y'all, I'm telling you, yes, I said y'all because I'm from Alabama. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. I'm so happy that she agreed to an apprenticeship, and I was literally in the midst of referring her to somebody else when she told me that, hey, I have this and this, and I was like, oh, okay, let's talk. And so I have too many characters. Let me put your information down here a little differently. See, can I get it out there? All right, there you go. And I'm going to have to copy this again. I'm going to get it out there. Let's see. It said I had too many characters. I want to be sure you have all of Nadia's information. So what I'm putting out there is her email address, and her website is out here. Her link to her Calendly, to get on her calendar, and also her service guide. She has everything laid out for what you need. And of course, we've talked before about some of our folks that are, be it nonprofit or in corporate, that need to rebrand, and they're needing to set up a website, or you're needing to get your social media started. Call, email her and say, hey, I heard you on Twanna's show and I'm looking for that. I need your services. She's more than welcome to help. And again, what I love is her natural ability to listen to you and to just get inside your head. Sometimes it's spooky because she will produce exactly what I wanted, what I was hoping it would look like, without me ever really saying. I give her the concept, but she's really good, right? And this is genuine. I cannot tell her how grateful I am to have her on my team. I really am. Okay. And so, Nadia, did you have any last words before we go?
I just want to thank you once again. Yeah, so it's been, I'm going to say it again, it's been such an honor to work with you and learn from you. And, I'm just looking forward to continuing this sisterhood relationship. And yes, I've learned so much, and I'm forever grateful to everything that you have done for me personally and professionally.
Well, you're quite welcome. We just want to keep it going. So, look, join the LinkedIn group. That's what we're here for. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I will see you back here next week, same time. Take care and
Thank
thanks.
you. Bye.